What's up, guys? Talk movies with us here, back again for another movie review, and boy, do we have a fun one to review for you guys today.
Oh, man.
Today we are reviewing Mandy. Mandy stars Nick Cage, Andrea Riseborough, directed by...
Panos Cosmatos, I hope I pronounced that right. He wrote it and directed it. So to give you guys a quick plot summary without having to give everything away, Nick Cage plays a lumberjack by the name of Red Miller. Takes place kind of in the 1980s. He lives with his wife Mandy, like in the middle of nowhere in the woods. And one day his world gets turned completely upside down when a religious cult-like
crazy people
come along, they take his wife, and they kill her. And that's not a spoiler.
That's not a spoiler. That's just a basic synopsis. You see it in the trailer.
Yes.
So, anywho, this is basically a revenge tale.
Yes, and of course, revenge stories are movies that we have seen thousands of times.
Yeah, they're a dime a dozen.
But this one is very unique.
Before we get into performances,
yes,
let's just talk about where this film is set in the time period, the 1980s.
Yes.
I said to you the whole time watching this movie, I feel like I'm watching a VHS tape.
It's very grainy. You know, it has almost like a music video or like an art house feel to it. And I mean, it was beautifully shot. I mean, very strange techniques at times, but it really works for this movie.
It's very unique, and it's one of those movies that it'll stick with you just from how it looked visually. You know, very saturated colors.
Yes, very bright. I mean, the soundtrack is spot on.
Oh, you got that synth in there, right?
Yes.
That's very big nowadays.
Some rock music going on. It was just so well done. From a technical standpoint, the movie is almost perfect, to me at least. Like, I was intrigued just by that alone.
But it was unique as all hell, and that's what I'll give it. You could pick this movie out of anything just from how it looks.
Yes.
You have neon blues, purples,
pinks.
Every scene is so saturated with those colors, but it just works for this movie.
It definitely does.
Now, this movie starts off with a very art housey feel to it. It's a very slow burn. No pun intended once you see the movie. It's a very slow burn at first.
Yeah.
But it hits a certain point around, I would say, maybe that 35, 45 minute mark. And it just hits the pedal to the metal 100 miles an hour. Nick Cage going batshit crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But in the best way possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's a scene, and this doesn't spoil it, there's a scene where he ends up in a bathroom, and somehow in the cabinet of the bathroom is a bottle of liquor, and he just starts chugging it, and he's just screaming
on the top of his lungs.
And
I'm like, that's me every morning before work. Like, staring at myself in the mirror, going berserk, hating my life. But...
And that was kind of like the tipping point of the movie. And then all hell breaks loose, and he wants revenge.
He's a maniac. He wants revenge.
And he will do anything to get it.
And besides this revenge tale, like we said, it is not like the rest. This movie separates itself from the group when you talk about revenge movies.
Yeah.
And besides being a revenge tale, this is a horror film. Do not let anyone else tell you different. This movie has some horrifying imagery in it.
It definitely does.
Like,
some of the characters are horrifying. I mean, there's a chainsaw fight at one point. It's just...
There's a scene between a conversation between two people. Well, it's not really... It's really a one-sided conversation.
Yeah.
But... I don't know what the heck this director did with the camera or camera tricks or whatever the hell he was doing. I was just like so creeped out by what I was watching.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the times I would turn to her and be like, what am I watching right now? But in a good way, in a really good way.
Yeah, I think like the phrase of us watching this movie was just like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, the whole movie was saying, what the fuck? What the fuck?
But it was like a pleasant, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's just because it's so different. I could tell right off the bat, as soon as this movie ended, this is going to be one of those films that sticks with me. Like,
oh, yeah.
I'm going to be thinking about it for the next couple of days. It's that freaking good.
It was awesome. I'm really sad that we actually didn't get to see it in the theater. We did rent it on Vudu, so you guys can rent it. It is coming out on Blu-ray, though. But the overall experience was... It was awesome. Not a movie for everybody. Like you said, I mean, it is very slow and it's trippy. I mean, the whole movie, you really do feel like you have done drugs.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, exactly. That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
For a good portion of this movie, I'm like, what kind of drugs am I on?
Well, we had just gotten coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. We're like, what was put in our coffee?
What did that place put in our coffee? It's very trippy. And it just makes for this very weird, badass revenge flick that I cannot recommend enough.
Yes, I mean, the director did a fantastic job at conveying his message and kind of making you feel a part of this story all in one. It was great.
You know, just a lot of emotions. You feel uncomfortable. You know,
you're feeling sad,
for
mad.
Nick Cage.
Yeah.
I was laughing with Nick Cage. I was cheering for the guy.
He has some really funny one-liners, and I mean, he's Nick Cage.
And just some funny, bizarre Nick Cage-like moments that are some of the best in his whole career. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, we can't go into many details, but
No.
you should go into this movie. Definitely watch it if you are a big movie person, but don't read up on it. Don't read any of the reviews. If you're watching this, it's okay because we're not giving anything away.
No, we're just giving you the basics, but don't read too much into it. Go into it as blindly as you can, besides this review, and just give it a shot. Like I said, if you're unsure about it for the first 35 minutes, I'm telling you it picks up.
Yes, but if you are a person who really does enjoy beautiful visuals, then it's not going to disappoint at all throughout the entire movie.
And it just looks like a very aged movie. Like, it looks like, you know, someone dusted it off the shelf from 20 years ago.
It was awesome. So good. So let's rate it.
Let's rate it. A+, one of my favorites of the year, by far.
Yep, I'm actually going to, I'm going to give it an A. I don't really give too many movies A+'s, but A is great in my book. It was fantastic. You know, when we get it on Blu-ray, we might just have to watch it again.
Yeah, and if you thought Nicolas Cage's last movie that we reviewed, Mom and Dad, that was a batshit crazy movie. This movie is that times 100. It was that crazy.
And this one actually does kind of wrap up at the end, whereas a lot of people were upset at the ending of Mom and Dad. This one, you know, it does have, you know, that satisfaction of a complete movie. So.
Oh, for sure. And it's just, what a ride this movie took us on. And I
was a
hope you
great
guys
one.
enjoy the ride too, because it was a very unique and very fun one.
And now I don't have to, you know, wonder what doing drugs is like, because I
just
definitely
watch Nicolas Cage in this movie, and holy hell, such a great representation.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it. That is our review of Mandy. If you saw it, let us know in the comments below how you liked it. Try not to give too much away, because, you know, spoilers.
Yes. And let us know your favorite Nicolas Cage performance.
Yes, let us know. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.
See you later.